So this is the first confirmed case of COVID-19 caused by the Omicron variant detected in the United States.
The first known U.S. Omicron case has been found in California, U.S. health officials announced on Wednesday. The patient, who was fully vaccinated but did not have a booster shot, has mild symptoms, according to Dr. Anthony Fauci, the top U.S. infectious disease official who briefed reporters at the White House.
The individual was a traveler who returned from South Africa on November the 22nd and tested positive on November the 29th. The individual is self-quarantining, and all close contacts have been contacted, and all close contacts thus far have tested negative.
For days, U.S. health officials have warned that the new variant, first detected in southern Africa and announced on November 25th, was likely already in the United States, as dozens of other countries also detected its presence.
The profile of the molecular profile of the kinds of mutations that you see would suggest, A, that it might be more transmissible and that it might elude some of the protection of vaccines. But we don't know that now. We don't know what the constellation of mutations are actually going to be. We have to be prepared that there's going to be a diminution in protection.
Fauci said it could take 2 weeks or more to gain insight into how easily the variant spreads from person to person, how severe it is, and whether it can bypass the protections provided by vaccines. President Joe Biden on Wednesday repeated that the new variant is a cause for concern, but not a cause for panic. Biden said earlier in the week the country would not go back into lockdowns and promised to lay out his strategy on Thursday for combating the pandemic over the winter.
Wall Street had a volatile session Wednesday, with stocks giving up all their gains after the U.S. Centers for Disease Control and Prevention announced the first U.S. case of the Omicron variant. The infected person, who arrived in California from South Africa, was fully vaccinated but did not get the booster shot. Selling picked up after top U.S. disease expert Anthony Fauci said the molecular profile of the new COVID-19 variant suggests that it might be more transmissible and might even evade some vaccine protection, but cautioned it was too early to say. Still, the Dow tumbled 461 points, the S&P 500 fell 53, the Nasdaq lost 283. Not all investors were selling. Kim Forrest of Boca Capital Partners is looking for bargains in the market's recent volatility.
So whenever the stocks are falling, I'm buying. So I'm kind of like, oh, I don't know. Whenever the stock market's down, it pretty much is Black Friday on, the day after Thanksgiving for me. So I'm pretty happy. The other thing is I always maintain a much longer time frame than most portfolio managers. I'm looking out 3 to 5 years for these stocks to go up. So time is on my side. If I can get something at a discount, I'm happy.
And there were plenty of stock market discounts to be had on Wednesday. Travel and tourism stocks were once again hit hard. New protocols in the wake of the Omicron variant are expected to add to headaches for airlines with international routes. Some countries, possibly even the U.S., will start requiring international passengers to show a negative COVID-19 test regardless of their vaccination status. United Airlines CEO Scott Kirby said the new variant will have a near-term impact on bookings. His company's stock was down roughly 7.6%. Delta was down close to 7.4%. American Airlines fell nearly 8%. Salesforce had a rough day, but not because of the health crisis. The software giant is facing stiff competition from Microsoft and guided quarterly estimates lower. The stock tumbled roughly 12%.
In the blistering cold, huddled in tents, a group of migrants set up camp along an old rail line in Dunkirk in northern France. Among them was Darwan Anwar Mahmoud and his makeshift restaurant. The 30-year-old from Iraqi Kurdistan built the stall in just one day using wood from nearby trees and a tarpaulin. He wanted to earn cash, having lost over $2,000 to a smuggler when he first arrived. But it was a precarious existence. Reuters interviewed him on Monday. Then, the very next day, the police arrived, evicted the residents and tore down their shelters. Before the eviction, Mahmoud had this to say.
Just like you, we're people too, and cameras and lights are upon us and they see us very well, and people say this is their situation, and they give a piece of clothing. But we're not here for clothes. We didn't come here for clothes, but to live.
A month ago, Mahmoud was taken to the coast by another smuggler, but backed out after he realized he'd be sharing the boat with 47 people. Last week, a boat of at least 29 people capsized in the channel between Britain and France, and only 2 survived. As the route becomes trickier, the price goes up.
These smugglers in the channel need to know that there's no work or gain in Kurdistan. They're scattered and they take our money, and if we speak out, we are met with opposition.
The camp was freezing and muddy. The smell was toxic, with people burning bottles and packages to keep warm. Still, the residents were together, and the restaurant was a small source of income. Mahmoud was making between 40 and 70 euros a day and employed 2 workers. Attempts by Reuters reporters to reach him by telephone after the eviction on Tuesday were unsuccessful.